Now the same logic is applied by the termite, but in a different way. So whereas the zebra does it outdoors, the termite does it inside. And this capacity to play again with the heat and pressure difference, creating an underpressure. So what we've done on the outside of the building on the top with the black there is create an underpressure below so that the air must flow over the building. And by creating that flow over the building, you create a coolness in the building. But by doing it like the termites, so here you see how we applied it to a school in Sweden. This is a school in Sweden where you see all the chimneys. And there is the inlet. So what is happening is that because the chimneys, the air gets hot, the air flows out, it creates an underpressure, and it pulls the cold air from the outside in. In this school, the air is refreshed inside the building all year round, every 30 minutes. It's like having the kids play outside. Now you know what happens when a child has fresh air all the time. Their attention levels go up. Their capacity to learn is better. And it's a naturally regulated air, so their vocal cords and their sinuses don't get affected by the aircon. Although I don't know how many schools in Taiwan have air conditioning. All? No. Some? Increasing? Yes. So be prepared for more respiratory problems. Be prepared for more flus. Be prepared for more of these problems that are caused by closing the air into a building. And so this was a strategy we pursued, but the main parameter that we were able to monitor over and above the energy savings is that kids learn better. And actually, after 12 years, the kids in this school have the best academic performance in Sweden. The best. So now the Swedish government, having the statistics before them, has decided to start implementing more of these natural ventilations for schools. It's cheaper in energy, you eliminate the aircon, you eliminate the electric consumption, your kids are healthier and they study better. Has anyone an argument against? You see what I'm doing? I'm building up the arguments. It's not 20% energy savings. No. It's not only 5% capital cost reduction. No. Kids are healthier and study better. Isn't that the purpose of a school? Isn't that what we want to achieve? Now, what is even more interesting is the children know why they study better. So the children here learn the physics by living it all the time. You know, when you're in a gym in the school and all the kids are there, and there may be a game against another school and the parents are there, it gets hot and humid. This gym, it actually gets cooler the more children and parents are in the gym. Naturally. Because every individual is 60 watts of energy. And that energy is channeled out through 6 of the channels up there and sucks all the heat out. And the more heat there is, the more coolness is pulled in. We do not even need a thermostat. No thermostat needed. Now I have to give my great gratitude to the persons who designed the mathematical models. Because before it was a lot of guessing. Oh yes, such a pipe and so this and so. Now we have mathematical models.
But you work on understanding that better air learns better.
Yes. Well, actually we didn't make that connection yet. The connection we made is the health. Because we know if one child sneezes, everyone sneezes. In the building that's closed up with an air conditioner. And so it's the health that was our priority. And now, having done this, we are very, fearful negotiators and discussers with governments, ministries of education who build schools that are too expensive and what we say, not healthy. And if we can demonstrate with Swedish statistics that this is the result, you make a point that at least is listened to. This is the architect who made it all happen, Anders Nyqvist. He is exactly like Anders, he's in his 70s. He is a genius of an architect, he understands how to do this. He built the first eco-village before Findhorn existed. Those of you may know Findhorn, in 1964. And thanks to his work along the coast of northern Sweden, several of the fishermen's villages, which would have been long closed because of modernization, have a future today. But this is perhaps to me the most inspiring building of all. That building is the largest building in the world using termite ventilation. It's 9 stories high in Zimbabwe. When people tell me, where should I go to see the best green building in the world, I say Zimbabwe. They look at me and say, no, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has this implemented in a revolutionary way. It is based on the work of a Swedish architect called Bengt Warne. He lived in the 50s in Zimbabwe. He observed how the termite creates this heat chimney and how the under pressure allows the air to come in and how actually the termite succeeds in maintaining temperature perfectly at 26 degrees inside the nest all the time and 61% humidity. We most of the time only think temperature, but it was key for the health inside the building is what's the humidity. And we know that when a child has a humidity that's too low, then their slimes dry out. And when it's too humid, then they build up too much mucus. 61% is ideal. That's the humidity you should have when you go to bed. Sleeping with a 60% humidity. Now the beauty is that building in Zimbabwe maintains 61%. More or less. Not super precise, but more or less. The importance is that this is a building built in Africa. Built in Africa. It took him 15 years to do all the designs. But this is a building that saved 25% of the capital investment into the building because there's no air conditioners. Sorry General Electric, sorry Daikin, sorry Mitsubishi Electric, we don't need you. And instead of being efficient, we don't need you. It's a very important principle. Second, no maintenance. Third, no recurring energy costs. Fourth, what people forget, and what is most important, is one extra floor for free. When you have every floor, normally you have an air duct. There is air ducts in between, but you don't need them anymore. So as a result, you save 30, 40 centimeters between every floor. 8 floors, a floor for free. Same volume. Now, we haven't talked much finance except for or mathematics, but what happens is that when you have an extra floor with the same volume, your break-even point in this project went down from 55% occupancy to 46%. If you decrease your break-even point with 9%, then you have a lower risk. That means you have a better interest rate. We can show from the finances, so when kids grow up and get into this and they got going with this zebra and that termite, they start digging into it and they are perhaps an interest to become a real estate developer like many Taiwanese would like to be, and many Chinese like to be. They realize that doing it this way make better money, better interest rates, and that's what makes the economy tick. It's better and cheaper. And, oh, by the way, climate change will benefit from this. This is, to me, one of the most ingenious inventions where again there is a play between black and white. And what we wanted to achieve is actually, this building is an HVAC without electricity and has no thermostat. That means this black wall generates heat and cooling according to the seasons and according to needs. How does it work? Air comes in from the left side, moves horizontally, and is moved forward because inside there's an aluminum coil. The black are recycled tires. They're recycled tires. The black moves in because of the aluminum coil, heats up, keeps on moving, and here it goes straight up. The temperature, as soon as the sun hits or the lights hit this black wall, the temperature goes quickly up to 60, 70 degrees. When the light is at the highest point, it's 100 degrees. It goes through the top, and at the top there is a very simple rotor, and it blows the hot air into the hall, which is a workshop for Ford Motor. In the summertime, it gets very hot, and you don't need the hot air. So the black box you see on top is a heat exchanger. It's a non-moving parts heat exchanger made with aluminum thin foils that allows you to have what refrigerators do. You take the hot out and then you have the cold left. That's how a refrigerator works. And by having a simple heat exchanger on top, it becomes an air conditioner. No moving parts. No capital cost. It is the same cost as putting up a wall, basically. The only additional investment is in your heat exchanger, and your heat exchanger is paid back in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks after use. So what we're seeing is that once we get into it, now if the children, again I come back to when the children start digging in, they love the zebra, they love the little butterflies, and they love the idea of black and white, and they love coming home and say, Dad, why does the zebra have black and white stripes? And Dad will say, oh, it's because they want to protect themselves against the lion. And the child will say, no, it still gets eaten. You know, Dad doesn't know anymore what's going on here with me. And, you know, I mean, this is already the third time. 3 weeks ago he had me, and then he had me again. First he had me with the whale, then he had me with the apple, and now he's had me with this here. So what you can see happening is this child's self-esteem, confidence is building up. And we need confident children.